I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Starting today, north of the border.
War is on everyone's mind as top diplomats from the world's richest democracies gather in Quebec. There are the potential trade wars following President Donald Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum, not to mention retaliatory measures put in place by Canada and the EU. But the very real war in Ukraine could also reveal divisions among allies. Most are publicly supportive of the Trump administration's efforts to end the fighting.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Now, President Trump has warned again of possible U.S. sanctions on Russia if it does not agree to a ceasefire offer Ukraine supports. A short time ago, a senior Russian official said that U.S. proposed ceasefire would help Ukraine's military. As Russian soldiers retake control today of more areas in the Kursk region that Ukraine captured in a counter-invasion last summer. NATO's leader, Mark Rutte, will go to the White House for talks today on the war, the day after President Trump said this ahead of a potential government shutdown.
It would be great if the Democrats would do what's right for our country for a change, because they really are there. They've lost their way.
As the Senate's Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer, says ahead of a funding deadline tomorrow night.
Funding the government should be a bipartisan effort. But Republicans chose a partisan path, drafting their continuing resolution without any input.
So Schumer says Democrats will not support that bill, but the GOP can't pass it without some Democrat votes. Here's something else the left doesn't like.
The death of the Green New scam is upon us.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin tells Fox they're rolling back environmental regulations from the Biden era aimed at fighting climate change.
It's the most significant, biggest deregulatory action in the history of the country. Trillions of dollars.
Zeldin says they'll undo rules on things like coal-fired plants and unwind standards on vehicle emissions that were aimed at getting us to switch from gas to electric cars. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
They call him a political prisoner. Protesters outside a court in New York City where a federal judge ruled that Mahmoud Khalil can remain in custody while still considering the U.S. attempt to deport Khalil, a legal resident with a green card, accusing him of supporting Hamas terrorists in anti-Israel protests at Columbia University last year. Now, that case could be moved to a different venue.
Will it be in Louisiana where Mahmoud Khalil is being held, or in the New York area? A federal judge will decide after hearing arguments. Khalil's lawyers say he's being punished because he spoke freely in support of Palestinians. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said it's not about that.
This is about people that don't have a right to be in the United States to begin with. No one has a right to a student visa. No one has a right to a green card.
Which Khalil has. His attorney, Ramzi Qassem, said the government's case will backfire.
It won't fly in federal court. We think it won't fly in immigration court. And it certainly should not fly in the court of public opinion.
Khalil still has not been charged for his actions at Columbia University. In New York, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Another state's moving away from lethal injections as the preferred method for execution. Some are using nitrogen gas now. Idaho is the first state to make the firing squad its primary method.
The bill was signed less than a week after a 67-year-old man was put to death by firing squad in South Carolina for killing his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat. The first time the method's been used in the United States in 15 years. Although the death penalty hasn't been carried out in Idaho in over a dozen years, a firing squad could now presumably be used to put accused college student's killer Brian Koberger to death if he's convicted. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
SpaceX may try again tomorrow after scrubbing a launch to the International Space Station last night, a mission to get 2 astronauts back from the ISS who've been there stuck since June. On Wall Street, stock futures are now down. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Wesleyan University being warned about protecting Jewish students on campus. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights sent letters to 60 institutions of higher education, including Illinois Wesleyan, saying that if they don't fulfill their obligations for civil rights, they'll face federal funding cuts. State lawmakers advancing a bill that would expand access to Alzheimer's treatment in the state. Measure passed out of the House Insurance Committee. The bill would require anyone's health insurance plan in the state to cover medically necessary FDA-approved treatments and medications to slow Alzheimer's. The Eastern Illinois University Police Department and Coles County Coroner revealed new information regarding the death of a student on campus last week. Officials confirmed that the student's name is Zaria Blackston and that she had juvenile diabetes since she was just 6 years old. Again, that from Eastern Illinois University. The investigation is ongoing. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's on. It's March Madness, baby. We have 4 games.
Let's do this.
Four Big Ten games today. Soye over in Indianapolis, and away we go.
What, you going over there?
I'm not.
No.
Yeah. It says noon, but I think it's 11 Central. Noon, Gainbridge Fieldhouse time. That's when everything starts. Illinois is scheduled for 5:30. It says 6:30. 5:30 Central Standard Time. They play Iowa. Iowa upset Ohio State
77-70.
Yeah, so Iowa, Fran McCaffrey, the head coach there, is, does he want to stay? Does he want to step down? Do they want to fire him? I don't think they'll fire Fran.
No.
Anyway, so, what would a win do over Illinois? It'd probably help him a lot if he wanted to stay. So, anyway, game on tonight, 5:30, Illinois and Iowa, game
wasn't
1.
There another upset somewhere in that, some elsewhere in the country did somebody else get upset?
I don't. There are always these
remember.
great, championship game things, and somebody shouldn't have made the tournament, and they did because they got the automatic bid, that kind of thing. That's usually routine every year. I don't track it as much till Monday when everything comes out.
Selection Sunday.
And then
that's the big bracket day.
Yeah,
Sunday,
big bracket day, Monday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, when you get them all printed and stuff. And Sheila from the office, who doesn't know anything, will win. So just get ready for all that.
Well, then I have a chance.
Yeah.
You're
exactly.
I have a chance.
Sheila, you can win too.
Give me Sheila's phone number.
Exactly. No, many a wife have commented to their husbands, as much as you watch, you should know more. I mean, you can't pick this game.
I know.
Come on, man.
Mrs. Weather Forecaster during the football NFL season, they have a thing in their office for the entire season, and she, asks my advice, and then it's like, well, why do you ask me for if you're going to pick them anyway? So,
Plus, we don't know. We don't know. Just because we watch doesn't mean we know.
We're not experts.
It's really hard.
Most of the time.
Let's check your weather, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that you can see a doctor from your home if you like. If you want to stay on your couch or at your kitchen table, you can see your provider with virtual visits in healthcare. You can learn more at mycarl.com.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solye. Nice today, then all that stuff is coming our way.
Yeah, lots of wind in various directions and no escaping it on what will be a very dynamic, wind-driven, kind of a windstorm, if you will, on top of everything else that's going on with it on its move from the central high plains into the southern Great Lakes region. Typically, you see these things really move like gangbusters. This was going to take its time, even with its scale, its intensity, and its wind field. And already, and I think we're just kind of scraping the surface here. Wind advisories in effect over a wide area of eastern Illinois, parts of northwest Indiana. High wind watches are probably more, I think, for the parts of northeastern Illinois. I wouldn't be surprised if we're into a high wind watch or warning scenario in the next couple of days. So you got that. We're already just east of a moderate risk of severe weather. That's level 4 out of 5. At some point, unfortunately, tomorrow night after sundown, when that line comes roaring on through, and then you've got the general wind motion of the whole thing, this storm system going on over the first half of the weekend. So hold on. Good and tight. 43 now, Willard and Savoy. Later today, 73. That's a nice climb. Light wind, sunshine. Tonight, 52 on the low. Wind picks up tomorrow. Pay heed to the wind advisory. Again, probably going to get upgraded around here over the next couple of days. Increasing clouds, maybe shower thunderstorm response late with a high at 77. The south wind of afternoon, gust 40 miles per hour. Fast moving line or two of severe weather tomorrow night probably will require a weather watch, and a low down to about 57. And those general winds apart from and away from from thunderstorms may hit 50 to 55 miles per hour out of the south and southwest tomorrow night into Saturday. A couple of showers, partly sunny, cooler, otherwise at 67. Winds slowly wind down, 47 on Sunday, maybe a couple of drops of rain early. Back into another warm-up, 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, and more rain mid next week with Wednesday highs, again, close to 70 degrees. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier. Yeah.
Political strategist, the Lawfare Project Senior Counsel is Gerard Felitti. Are you in Washington or are you in New York?
I'm in New York this morning.
All right, good to have you on. Firstly, there's going to be a government shutdown. Or you got to tell me the 7 Democrats that would dare cross Chuck Schumer.
Well, I mean, we already have Senator Fetterman, who's indicated that he's not going to vote to shut down the government. So who knows? Maybe we have 6 other smart Democrats who understand that America does not want them to shut down the government. But it is a Hail Mary. It's hard to see the government not shutting down thanks to Chuck Schumer.
Okay, so what the media is going to blame Donald Trump, right? I mean, that's just what the script says.
I mean, is there anyone else to blame?
Yeah,
Donald Trump gets to blame anytime something happens, according to the Democrats.
Yeah. Okay, so you're expecting a shutdown as well?
I am. I don't see much hope of a continuing resolution. I don't think that enough Democrats will cross party lines to make this happen, but they will try to spin the narrative that it's Donald Trump's fault, that it's the Republicans, and they're going to continue pushing hard that somehow Elon Musk is involved, and somehow all sorts of conspiracy theories to hide the fact that it's the Democrats who are obstructing progress.
Okay, so how long will it last, Gerard? You're in the middle of all that stuff. What do you think?
Well, I think it'll last a month or so. I think the House needs to come back and reconvene to get anything done. So I think we will see a shutdown that lasts more than a week or two, maybe as much as a month.
What does it do to me? I mean, how does it affect me?
Not much. Government shutdowns start with low-cost cuts, meaning that the furloughing federal workers, cuts in payments that have not yet been made but are not directly affecting entitlements. So unless you are a salaried federal employee, don't expect the cuts to hit you directly, at least not for several weeks or more than a month.
I don't understand why anybody would be so opposed to saving money.
Well, they're opposed to saving money when they want to get more money to spend it on projects that we all see are fraud, waste, and abuse. Why would you give American taxpayers their money back when you can use it for your social priorities? And that's exactly what Democrats have been doing for a long time now.
But haven't they been saying themselves there's plenty of savings we could have over the years? I've got all the I've got Barack Obama saying it, Joe Biden, everybody says it. How come nobody ever acted on it?
Everyone says it, but what they mean by it is that they want to cut programs that they don't like.
Oh.
So you would see Democrats, when they're cutting spending, they're cutting spending on defense. They're cutting spending on initiatives that actually most Americans need. When you're looking at Republicans, you're looking at waste, fraud, and abuse. You're looking at Obama phones being given out to illegal immigrants. So everyone wants to cut spending. The question is, what do we cut?
Do you think Americans understand the urgency of minus $37 trillion?
I think that the numbers have gotten so astronomically big that people can't really comprehend that anymore. There used to be a debt clock in New York City that had, this was back in the day when we were talking about billions, not trillions. But the number is so huge right now that most people just kind of shrug their shoulders and say, well, the system's kept working for years now, so what's going to change if the debt's not if the debt's still there?
Yeah, and I don't think there's any plans to really cut Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare and everything else, but that's what the Democrats are saying.
No, it's fear-mongering, plain and simple. I can't remember a time when Democrats didn't fear-monger that Republicans are going to cut Social Security, that your mom or dad or grandma in the nursing home is going to be affected by Republicans. And that's never proven to be correct. It's just fear-mongering to win seats and scare Americans into voting for Democrats.
Well, they're still hanging on the Hitler thing, so I heard that yesterday. Tesla and Hitler. I mean, hey, and let's get Kamala back. I mean, whatever they want to do, but they can't win a midterm with the same line, can they?
They cannot, especially because Americans are seeing what the government is doing. They're seeing Doge. They're seeing the effectiveness. They're seeing that there really is waste, fraud, and abuse. They're seeing that taxpayer dollars really have been spent on garbage programs for decades now, and the Republicans are doing something about it. That's the narrative that's going to go into the midterms. It's not going to be, Donald Trump wanting to cut your Social Security, which is not true, or someone being Hitler. I mean, the narrative ultimately is the economy, and the economy is looking up under Trump, despite the fear-mongering that we see on a near-daily basis.
Gerard Felitti, F-I-L-I-T-T-I. How can people connect with Lawfare Project?
They can go on the internet at lawfareproject.org, or on social media, Lawfare Project or Gerard Felitti.
Nice to have you back, and good luck. Keep the fight.
Always a pleasure, and thank you for keeping up the good fight.
Thank you. All right, check your sports headlines. That was Gerard Felitti out of wherever he said he was, New York.
Lawfare Project. Yep.
Lawfare Project out of New York. Let's check sports headlines.
Let's go. The Illini facing Iowa today after number 15 Iowa beat Ohio State 77-70 yesterday. And it looks like after practicing and being healed up, Morez Johnson Jr. will be joining the team at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Tip-off at 5:30. Go Illini!
Brad, what does Morez give me?
Minutes. Yeah, physicality, athleticism. I think we all have to understand he hasn't played a month. There's some limitations, I think, to, we're not just throwing him back in the starting lineup. We'll see how he progresses. He's been great in practice. He's impacted practice a great deal. And, I know his rebounding and his defense will be needed sometimes at some point throughout this postseason.
Is there anything about his style of play that makes it easier to acclimate? Like, he's not a high-usage guy. He kind of brings the same thing all the time. Is it easier to acclimate a guy?
Yeah, guard, rebound, and run. Again, we were playing a lot of those bigs. He and Tommy and Ben a lot together. We're not doing that as much. That's not to say we won't get back to that. But I think the one thing through all the 11 games missed by starters in league play is that we've been able to adapt to different styles of play and play different ways. So excited to have him back. We missed him. He's athletic. He's a rebounding machine. So that piece will be very welcome.
Missed 11 games without the starters. I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah.
Still finished 12-8. Still in the
my
tournament.
goodness.
Yeah.
So we've got number 8 Oregon and number 9 Indiana at 11 o'clock today. In case you want to start your, kind of March Madness scene early today.
I think people save them from next Thursday, Friday.
Okay, gotcha.
16 games a day.
So, but still,
11 a.m. to
that
midnight.
Oregon Indiana game for the Big Ten tournament is going to be pretty
fun.
good contest.
There'll be a lot of people walking around today. There's no question.
That's right. And we've got Wisconsin and Northwestern game at 1:30. USC ended up beating Rutgers. That was double overtime, 97-89. You said the Spartans ended up hitting
USC Trojans.
Trojans.
They just started making threes. I happened to see the end of the game, but yeah, I ultimately I'm not sure that matters because I don't think they're going to advance. Now USC gets Purdue today. Good night. I don't think so. I don't know. Who knows in the game of threes?
I know it.
Maybe they get hot,
Illinois softball beating ISU 3-1 yesterday, 12-9 on the season. Next up, Wisconsin, Friday at 5. Number 1 of 15 practices started yesterday morning. Illinois football with Luke Altmaier returning. In fact, 18 players returning after our 10-win season and that Citrus Bowl victory. Plus, we've got a viewing party coming our way, and that's at the 77 Club of Memorial Stadium.
That's amazing.
Sunday at 6:30 for the women on Selection Sunday.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? It's been a long time since I think the women made the NCAA. So we're excited for Shauna Green's basketball team.
Enter on gate 16.
Weather brought to you by Urbana Park District.
They remind you it's spring break time, and they have the Indoor Aquatic Center open for people for some swim hours. Find out more urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign and Memphis today. Another warm one on tap. Sunshine, even warmer than recent days at 73 on a light east to southeasterly wind. We'll bottom out tonight, mild at 52. Tomorrow becoming windy and seasonally warm. Increasing clouds later today and a shower thunderstorm chance late up to 77. Heads up on the south wind. The wind advisories and expanding high wind watches across the Midwest. 77 tomorrow with that south wind gusting to 40 miles per hour and a southwest wind hitting 50 to 55 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Saturday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks tomorrow night. Could be severe before midnight. A moderate risk is lurking just west of Champaign, low down at 57. Partly sunny, couple of showers and 67 on Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Sunday morning. Partly sunny, cooler, more seasonal at 47. Another warm up into the first half of next week. 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, 68 Wednesday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. We'll move back into cooler weather, but still above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the late portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Jerry Willis, and this is the Fox Business Report. Dollar General reporting fourth quarter sales which topped estimates, but profit missed estimates because of costs from a review of the retailer's store portfolio. Facebook parent Meta wins a legal victory against a former employee who published an explosive tell-all memoir. This is an arbitrator temporarily prohibits the author from promoting or further distributing copies. The arbitrator finding that Meta had provided enough grounds that she had potentially violated her contract. And Deutsche Bank names autos as a growing risk for its portfolio. It faces a challenging environment in Europe, electric vehicle transition and competition in China, and pressures from U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Bret Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Bret Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, Barb needed to sell her family home, and she contacted Nate Evans at the Nate Evans Group for some help. Barb says Nate and his team were always ready to help and were even able to connect with someone that could help her clear the house and get the home ready for the market. Barb was very pleased.
The Coming Soon program is something that's kind of the feather in Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group cap. The secret list of homes that will soon be on sale. Plus, that strong partnership with Zillow really creates demand for your home. Sell your home for the most money possible. I mean, that's the objective. You can get the process going as you go to your phone and just do an online search to Nate Evans Group and click that button in the middle of the page there, Get Home Value, and see what happens. Yeah, a friend you can trust in the business. All the agents have a lot of experience. 217-239-7113. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, it is March 13, 2025, because it's a long month. It's a long, good month with a lot of basketball, which, again, Illinois gets underway. Brad was asked, when was the last time you had all your guys? I mean, when was the last time everybody was in practice? And for a basketball coach, you're going, well, yesterday, right? I mean, no, he didn't know. I mean,
I don't know if there was this, maybe the Michigan State game, if you want to have a half.
I was talking about Will Riley there. Okay, what about, can you remember?
I know we had everybody a game, or the practice before Indiana. I'm not sure we had any, maybe much more than that. The West Coast swing, yeah, I got to look. I don't. It's been a long time.
Right.
It's just been incredible because the energy's good. It's not where we're sick and have guys, but they feel terrible. It's back that we've got just great energy again, and we've got a lot of bodies. So, yeah, that brings a smile to my face. I'd have to look. Somebody told me, maybe Indiana. I know it was right after the West Coast swing that everything kind of went kapoof.
It did. It went kapoof. Kapoof, I guess. Poof.
I think that's the official way to do that.
It was. We came back kapoof. I don't have the schedule in front of me. Anyway, we came back. I got it.
Okay.
So it was. We beat Oregon by 32.
Right.
It set the record. Nobody has
on the West Coast.
And nobody's ever beaten it by 32.
That's right.
Yeah. Then we went to Washington a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came back. And Kasparis Jakojonas was not available for Penn State. We beat Penn State by 30. Then USC was another story. They beat us.
Yeah.
And then I guess before Indiana, no, Kasparis, was he back for Indiana? But then it was Tomislav who was getting hurt and stuff.
Yeah.
Tomislav had mono. Yeah, they think Thomas had mono since USC.
Right.
So then everything started to overlap.
And that was like a month.
I would have probably pulled the Apollo 13 line. What on this spacecraft works.
Yeah.
Because at some point, you had 3 and 4, maybe 5 people out at the same time with the flu. And then that wasn't enough because after the mono, after Tomislav's ankle, after the flu, then there was the stomach flu because that's a different virus.
I know.
Man. So anyway, it sounds like there's bounce back in the practice. Now keep in mind, just take Illinois. Look at the schedule. We played Alabama really early. They beat us down in Birmingham. Then we lose to Tennessee on that last second shot when Tennessee was number 1.
Yeah.
And then we beat Missouri, which was a very good quality win. And then so we're
what was the game where
Northwestern beat us up there. That was overtime.
Remember when Kasparis got like 3,000 in a minute?
Michigan State. That was Michigan State.
That
and
was horrible.
Lost by 2.
Right.
So I'm just saying when everybody was going, we were 16-3, I think. So it was pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Can we get that thing back?
There's cautious optimism.
Cautiously optimistic for the weekend. We'll see what happens. Tonight's a game. You just got to beat Iowa.
Right.
But I don't like those kind of games where it's like, okay, well, yeah, you should beat them.
Uh-huh.
Well, they're really good. No, you should beat them. They lost their best player, Owen, whatever his name is, and he's very good inside. They got that small point guard that's fantastically quick and a very good player. And the Owen and this quick kid who came from the same high school that won the state championship at Champaign and at State Farm Center a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, Iowa got both of them. And then Fran McCaffrey's the head coach at Iowa's future is a little murky, whether he steps down, whether they fire him, or he goes another year, whatever that is. So anyway, Iowa tonight, we're better than Iowa. Let's get Iowa, but you got to play well. If we go 5 for 30, we'll lose. So, okay, just shoot the ball better. And go to the rim.
Right.
Go to the rack. Go to the rack. Is
it Brock Harding that you're thinking of?
Yeah, Brock Harding's very he's 5'10", 11, but he's so quick and so good. All right, so we'll see what happens. Let's beat Iowa if we can. We'll play Maryland tomorrow. Okay, Maryland is very good. They beat us by 20 here, but that was without Tomislav Isevic, and Merez was just coming around. So that was without an inside game. They have 2 NBA players, and big guys. So they're very good. Maryland, in fact, earlier in the year at the Rebounders, Brad Underwood thought Maryland was the best team in the Big Ten. So they're very good. And they're the 2 seed, so they should be good. So anyway, let's just beat Iowa tonight, 5:30. Just go to work, play your game, play well, go to the rim, shoot the 3 when you're wide open. I'm getting nervous.
I know it.
Can you sit
Evan
down?
Bronze is like 6'9". He's a big guy.
No, they've got obviously they beat Ohio State. They're a good team. You just can't sleep on them. I just think we're better. Considerably, particularly with Merez now back to get me a few rebounds tonight. He's not going to play a ton tonight. Just got to work him in. And then if you do aspire to play the whole weekend, you're going to have to play 9 guys. So we're going to have to get Trey, and we're going to have all these fellas coming off the bench. They're going to have to all play because you can't go 4 days in a row with legs on Sunday if you don't play 9 guys. And I'm sure that's what they're planning to do, just in case.
Yeah.
Be ready in case. But yeah, it's March Madness, and I don't know. Can you sit down when you watch a ball game?
I mean, I'm probably pacing.
I don't really sit for a game, particularly tournament where it's one and done. It's really hard because I'm kind of watching, standing, trying to do something else, keep an eye on the kind of thing. All right, we're going to break the news next. John Decker, it's Thursday. Did you know Nathaniel's son this half hour as well?
Good.
Stand by. We'll return in just a moment. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J, and time for your news. Be right back.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Quebec, Canada, meeting with counterparts from the G7 group of nations. Less friendly territory than usual this meeting, with war on everyone's mind.
There are the potential trade wars following President Donald Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum, not to mention retaliatory measures put in place by Canada and the EU. But the very real war in Ukraine could also reveal divisions among allies.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Russian state news reports that Trump envoy Steve Witkoff is in Moscow to discuss a ceasefire. A former Texas megachurch pastor is indicted on sex abuse charges.
Gateway Church founder Robert Morris is accused of repeatedly sexually assaulting a 12-year-old Oklahoma girl back in the 1980s. Morris had denied the claims, but resigned from the church back in June when Clement Shire's allegations became headlines.
Fox's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A man's been arrested in connection with the sexual abuse of a woman at an off-campus apartment in Champaign. Detectives arresting the suspect, 18-year-old Pedro Nascalon Martin of Champaign. It happened in the 900 block of South 1st Street. The survivor fought back against the suspect. Again, he's in custody. Illinois House Education Policy Committee approved a bill Wednesday to help guide the use of AI in schools. Legislation could create the state's first framework for evaluating and implementing AI technology for teachers and students. Sponsors and advocates calling for an instructional Technology Advisory Board. Many schools across central Illinois getting ready for spring break, away from classrooms and cafeteria. An organization working to make sure kids have a guaranteed meal. Operation Get Down got its start in southern Illinois, but it made its way to Mahomet. Every day during Mahomet Seymour spring break, they're handing out free lunches to kids of every grade. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. We check your weather ahead of John Decker, brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. That's the wrong one. What is wrong with me? First day. Now your weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Another warm one on tap. Sunshine, even warmer than recent days at 73 on a light east to southeasterly wind. We'll bottom out tonight, mild at 52. Tomorrow becoming windy and seasonably warm. Increasing clouds later today and a shower thunderstorm chance late up to 77. Heads up on the south wind. The wind advisories and expanding high wind watches across the Midwest. 77 tomorrow with that south wind gusting to 40 miles per hour and a southwest wind hitting 50 to 55 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Saturday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks tomorrow night could be severe before midnight. A moderate risk is lurking just west of Champaign, low down at 57. Partly sunny, couple of showers and 67 on Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Sunday morning. Partly sunny, cooler, more seasonal at 47. Another warm up into the first half of next week. 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, 68 Wednesday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. We'll move back into cooler weather, but still above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the late portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, it's Thursday. John Decker, John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John.
Yes, children in combines now sing the theme, ladies and gentlemen. It is John Decker, White House correspondent, national correspondent for Gray Television, whose CEO is, well, one of my best friends, Hilton, but I can't remember his last name. So, who did a shout out? Did a shout out on the call for earnings. A shout out to John Decker. I bet Hilton has not put the John Decker theme on his ringtone. So there's work to be done.
I got to get him to do that. Absolutely.
Hey, good news. John has 2 pens that Donald Trump assigned various things with, 2 pens that he wrote his signature.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, John, you picked up a Tesla the other day because that was another free thing.
Nice.
So what the heck was wrong with that?
What color did you choose?
Come on, man. Gave me the keys. He threw me the keys to the Tesla. He said, "John, it's yours."
Yeah,
I can't drive it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So funny.
Thank you.
He says, they won't let me drive it. It's been a long time. I like driving. It's so funny. All right, John Decker. Stevie J says 100% chance of a government shutdown tomorrow night. What say you?
Yeah, I agree with you. Just simply because of what Chuck Schumer, the majority leader in the Senate, said yesterday on the floor, and that is the votes are not there to pass this continuing resolution. Yesterday morning, I heard that Senator John Fetterman, Democrat from Pennsylvania, was going to support this CR. He called it a horrible bill, but does not want to have a government shutdown. I don't know if he's changed his mind or if he's just that one Democrat that's going to vote for the CR. In any case, he needs 7 Democrats to join with 53 Republicans in the Senate to pass that CR. And as things stand right now, Stevie, I think you know this, I don't think they have those votes. And so we could be looking at a government shutdown should no agreement be reached between now and midnight tomorrow night.
And then what? I mean, how could this go for a month?
And then what? Yeah, I mean, we've gone through this before with President Trump, when it was the Democrats that controlled Congress, and we saw that in the first term. We saw a government shutdown last for several weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think that the White House is prepared for just that, and we'll see what the implications of that are. And as it relates to polls, who gets blamed for it? Who gets blamed for it? It's a little bit of a game of chicken in terms of what Republicans and Democrats are doing right now, risking this government shutdown.
Well, obviously I'm biased, but if you got all the Republicans, Thomas Massey, if you got all the Republicans that vote for it and Democrats refuse, and Democrats have been protesting waste, fraud, and abuse, 8 out of 10 networks will say it's all Trump's fault, which is normal. But I don't know how you can blame Trump when you have 0 Democrats and all they want to do is stop this evil from happening. So I'd put it on the Democrats, but that's me.
Well, you raise a good point. And the counterpoint is, but it's Republicans who control all the levers of power. The White House, the House, the Senate, everybody knows that too. It's just that, the numbers are such that you need 60 votes in the Senate. It's not just a simple majority. And so that's why, this idea that controlling all the levers of power, it's true on paper, but the numbers suggest that you need more than just that simple majority, certainly in the Senate.
Well, shouldn't they do a little shout-out? Shouldn't Chuck Schumer do a little shout-out to Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin for they wanted to quit the filibuster? And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. It kind of flipped around on them, didn't it, Chuck? Huh?
Yeah,
Come on.
It does. It does all the time. It does. Absolutely. Look, that's what happens. Elections have consequences. These are the consequences, in terms of the rules being in place right now. And this will be the makeup of the House and the Senate for the next 2 years. I think that's one of the reasons, Stevie, why Trump has hit the ground running. He knows that, his time's limited in terms of, getting all the things that he wants done, because the next 2 years of his second term, years 3 and 4, he may not have such an easy time of it.
All right, it's John Decker, White House correspondent for Gray Television. Always a pleasure. I think the biggest, most impactful story today is, will Vladimir Putin take the next move toward peace? Is that even possible? What do you say?
Well, his negotiators already rejected the proposal that was put forward today by the U.S. Special Envoy, Steve Witkin. So I don't think he wants peace. As President Trump has said, it takes 2 to tango. As Secretary Rubio has said, Secretary of State Rubio has said, the ball's now in Russia's court because Ukraine has agreed to this 30-day ceasefire. And they're both right. Rubio and the president are both right. It's all up to Russia, and Russia does not seem to want to have any peace.
And then I think Donald Trump is not going to be very nice to Vladimir Putin with different sanctions and things economically. And then what does that do?
That's what he said. That's what he's threatened. He did that yesterday. When the president was meeting with the Irish prime minister in the Oval Office, he said, if Russia doesn't agree to this ceasefire, there will be a financial penalty in the sense that he will increase economic sanctions on Russia. But Russia has found a way to deal with all these economic sanctions, thanks to other countries in the world like China helping them out, and North Korea, providing troops to help Russia battle against Ukraine. So they've found a way around these economic sanctions, and I think that Putin is willing to take that chance in terms of those potential increased sanctions being placed upon his country.
I know this is probably the way they're thinking, and I would think the same way. Geopolitically, I don't want China and Russia buddies. I don't want that. I got to figure out how to pry Putin away from that and at least be neutral with me.
Yeah, I mean, that is you're right. Your read on it is right. But over the course of the Biden presidency, and certainly since Russia invaded Ukraine, Russia has increased its ties with China. They've signed, these types of mutual agreements with each other. And right now, they are best of buddies, Putin and Xi. And the president has said he wants to meet with President Xi at some point during this year. There's a rumor that they may have their first meeting of the second term in early June. Just a rumor at this point. We'll see if that actually comes into being.
Okay. All right. So are you optimistic for Putin or not?
No. I mean, that guy doesn't want peace. He's a bad dude. No, unfortunately, the U.S. has gone to Moscow sincerely with a peace proposal, a 30-day ceasefire that has already been agreed to by Ukraine. Ukraine has said we are making concessions, and I think the president says you need two to tango, and I don't think Putin was any interest in peace whatsoever.
All right, so if you got a choice, and if that's correct, and you're probably right, then you probably have to help Ukraine. It's probably the lesser of. I don't think Ukraine's great, but probably going to be better than Putin.
Well, yeah, democracy's better than what exists in Russia for sure, and we're back to where we were. That's essentially. Yeah. The frustrating thing, because you see all of this effort by Rubio, by Mike Waltz, who's the president's national security advisor, traveling all the way to Saudi Arabia, traveling to Moscow, all for nothing because Putin doesn't want to come to the table and at least agree to a 30-day ceasefire. That's not even an end to the war. It's just a 30-day ceasefire to figure out how to come up with terms that are agreeable to both sides.
Well, and again, Ukraine will never win this war, John. I mean, not with a guy with nuclear weapons. I mean, God forbid. But, I mean, they hold the big dog, and that's where World War III, that's why you hear about there's a threat of World War III. I think there certainly is, based on all the conditions.
Well, look, that's the worst-case scenario. I mean, obviously, you have to play out worst-case scenarios. But Afghanistan... they won that war with Russia, in the 70s and 80s, and maybe it's just a matter of just wearing them down.
Mm-hmm.
And Ukraine has been pretty remarkable. How many people would have predicted that war would have lasted as long as it lasted? 3 years. That's pretty impressive, in terms of how Ukraine has had some gains, actually, in this war against Russia, which considers itself a superpower.
Well, the amount of loss of life, million and a half dead and injured. I mean, it's unbelievable numbers for this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the numbers are incomprehensible, really, when you think about it.
Well, it looks like inflation has ticked down a little bit. Gas prices down a little bit. Egg prices even came down a little bit. Are we going the right way, do you think?
Well, hopefully, that's the big question. Was this inflation report, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, was it just a one-off? Was it an aberration? Or is it, harbinger of things to come? I think it's difficult to say with certainty just because of the tariffs. The tariffs are going to increase prices, Stevie. There's no doubt about it, and that will be almost immediate because there's no company out there that's being hit with these tariffs that's not going to pass those costs immediately onto consumers. So we're going to see that and feel that, and even the president has warned of short-term pain related to his trade tariffs policy.
I wonder, is it in the press corps, when he says, I want reciprocal, when a country charges us 20 and we charge them 5, it would appear to be logical to say, all right, I'll do 20, you do 20, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and those tariffs, by the way, have not even been imposed yet. Those tariffs go into effect on April the 2nd.
Right.
So these tariffs relate to the president imposing tariffs on imported steel and aluminum. That's going to have an impact here in the U.S. The most popular vehicle in terms of sales in America is the Ford F-150. It's made entirely of aluminum. We get so much of that aluminum from Canada, and the price of a Ford F-150 is going to go up by $400 per vehicle. That's just one of the immediate impacts of these tariffs that we're going to see in the short term.
Is the new face of the Democratic Party Jasmine Crockett?
I don't know about that. She's getting a lot of airtime, right?
Yeah. Though, she does rock the lashes. I mean, come on, man. She's got it going on.
But can she refrain from cussing?
Boy, I tell you, what is that whole thing about the Democrats and the swearing? Could we cut that out, or is that just not happening?
I don't know. That doesn't appeal to everybody, that's for sure. There's a lot of division right now in Congress as it relates to what we see with Democrats and Republicans. Nothing like, how we always see those fights in Parliament in North Korea. Nothing like that here, fortunately, but close to it. The war of words sometimes involving, I've seen it, right? Crockett and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, okay. So when you go into the press room, very small press room of the White House, you have your seat, you're sitting there. Does any adrenaline happen? Do you don't get called on every day, but you get called on most days. And so,
most days.
Do you have what you're going to have for them ready, or does what somebody says change your question?
Oh, it's always the latter, because was it 2 days ago, Tuesday, the last press briefing, I did get called upon. I think I was called.
I saw you toward the end.
Yeah, no, it was actually in the beginning of the briefing, but fourth. But you always have to prepare for someone answering the question that you would like to ask if you're first. Mm-hmm. So then you have to, think, move in a different direction. If the press secretary has answered the question that you prepared to ask, then what other things would you like to ask? What has she said that maybe you want to follow up on? So that's the way I approach it, really, when I go in the briefing room.
But to be that, agile, there's a lot of reporters and some of the newbies. They got to be really nervous, and they're reading from their phones and everything else. You're doing that whole Mike Wallace 60 Minutes thing. A good question, but not necessarily a softball question either. No way.
No, that's right. I see people that have been doing it for a while, still reading from their laptop computer when they ask a question. It's like, you can, come on, man.
Come on, man.
You don't need to read from a laptop, to ask a question to the press secretary. And beyond that, you should have you should be prepared in terms of what it is that the press secretary may say as it relates to a potential follow-up question that you may want to ask her.
So this would be bad. Stevie J, yes, thank you. I really like your sweater. How are you so good? So that would be a bad question.
No, I don't like that one. I don't think that's good.
I tell you what, though, it's dog eat dog in there, man. You got to sharpen the elbows sometime.
Yeah. I guess I sharpen the elbows.
You're in there positioning for. You just got it. You're doing your job, but there's about 40 pretenders in there probably. So, I mean, there's a core of you that have been around the block a bit and are actually looking for stuff and not really looking for. The AP guy the other day got hammered pretty good.
He got shut down.
Shut him down. Post him up and shut him down. All right, finally, John Decker, what about the tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a sports guy, which is really unusual.
I am.
The only lawyer on press row, the only guy that has a clue about world soccer and also basketball and other sports and tennis, of course.
Yeah.
So you're very unique in your knowledge breadth of that, and you could actually fill out a bracket sensibly. So you're the man.
Yeah, well, last year's bracket was amazing because I chose NC State to go to the Final Four. They, I think, were an 11 seed, and I was right about that. I mean, sometimes you just get lucky.
Come
on. I did see them play. I saw them play in the ACC tournament, which was in D.C. last year, and I was so impressed with them as a team. And that's the reason why I had them going so far in the tournament. Here's the crazy thing, how crazy college basketball is, Stevie. The coach that took NC State to the Final Four last year, and he also had a good runs in his prior years, he was fired this past week. It's just unbelievable, just simply because he didn't make the tournament. Yeah, it's a tough game.
tough game, as they say. Save your money. Holy mackerel!
Yeah.
You go to the Final
Yeah.
Four, you think you bought a couple more years.
I would say so. Get your agent to renegotiate or something.
Yeah,
But boy,
right.
that's unbelievable.
And speaking of
Yeah.
agents, I got a call into Hilton, so we'll be talking to him on their behalf soon. So.
We did get a couple of texts in. One said, let's be honest, this is a proxy war between U.S. and Russia. Ukraine would have been beat a long time ago without us. Thoughts on that statement, John?
Without us, without Europe, I mean, there's no doubt about it. They have benefited immensely by all of the military weapons and ammunition that have been provided to them, the missiles, the Patriot missile batteries, just to prevent all of the drone attacks on civilian areas in Ukraine. All of that, Ukraine, and they're thankful for the U.S. and the support that they've given. But it is. I mean, it's essentially the future of Europe is at stake because Putin doesn't want to end with Ukraine. He wants to go into Moldova, Latvia, Lithuania. I mean, he's not ending there. He wants to rebuild the old Soviet Union. That's his goal.
Old KGB guy, I think, isn't
right,
it? Yeah.
Right.
Old KGB guy.
Well, and Adam and Sydney had mentioned his.
Did you see him in the fatigues? Did you see that today?
No, I did not. Did he take his shirt off? He usually takes his shirt off in the fatigues.
Yes.
Yeah. Riding the horse and all
Go
that.
ahead.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
Adam and Sydney had mentioned his 9-year-old daughter was singing the John Decker theme 20 minutes
Well,
ago.
Adam, record it. We could get another version. A recorder singing.
Instead of Little Stevie's version.
No, we'll do both. We'll just have
and,
20.
and even Little Stevie has told me that wasn't my best work.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, listen, we'll get a little montage going. All kids sing the theme, and maybe you can find yourself on the radio. John, you're the best. We really appreciate you being on with us, and thank you. Keep up your fine reporting. We need you.
Thanks a lot, Stevie. Always great to be with you and Diane on the show, and have a great day, great weekend. We'll talk next week for sure.
My pleasure, and thank you. It's John Decker, Great Television's White House correspondent every Thursday at this hour. You want to sing the thing of John Decker? Get it recorded and send it to us. You'll find yourself on the radio.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis. Saturday, another warm one on tap. Sunshine, even warmer than recent days at 73 on a light east to southeasterly wind. We'll bottom out tonight, mild at 52. Tomorrow becoming windy and seasonally warm. Increasing clouds later in the day and a shower thunderstorm chance late up to 77. Heads up on the south wind. The wind advisories and expanding high wind watches across the Midwest. 77 tomorrow with that south wind gusting to 40 miles per hour and a southwest wind hitting 50 to 55 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Saturday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks tomorrow night. Could be severe before midnight. A moderate risk is lurking just west of Champaign, low down at 57. Partly sunny, couple of showers and 67 on Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Sunday morning. Partly sunny, cooler, more seasonal at 47. Another warm up into the first half of next week. 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, 68 Wednesday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. We'll move back into cooler weather, but still above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the late portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group's Diana Foltz, recent recipient of Champaign County's Realtor of the Year.
Diana, how do you know you've been successful?
I know that when we are invited to personal events in their lives, first birthday parties, weddings, gatherings, we know that we've been more than just their realtor. We know that we've made these relationships deep and that it goes beyond just the sale of the house. And it speaks a lot to what we want, which is to serve our clients and to, be more friends than just a realtor.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter. And they're relying on Reggie and I to help them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Foltz team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133. And my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
Thursdays, we call my son in Chicago, Nathaniel's son. Nathaniel's son gives us things we do not know after careful study and research, a master's in civil engineering, a Brian Russo superstar. It's my son, and I'm not biased. Nathaniel's son from Chicago.
Love it.
And now Nathaniel, Dad, how's your wife, Allison? How's your darling daughter and my granddaughter? Janet and I are so pleased. Josephine, how is she?
She's good. Everybody's doing well. I was just telling Diane, Josephine is keeping us honest as parents, making sure we're awake multiple times in the night just in case we forgot that she was there and she needed us. But
and Tilly, your Cocker Spaniel is the little genius dog, and how's she doing?
Tilly's doing well. She's settling into the role of big sister and Nana, and she definitely needs her own time, which is, I feel like, good training in some ways for a toddler. You know, she still needs to go out, she still needs to run, she still needs to play, so we're juggling both, but it's wonderful. Awesome.
Nathaniel Son from Chicago, did you know? What do you got?
Well, this morning we're going to talk about none other than our own solar system. Now, if you're like me, maybe you've wondered, well, I understand all of the planets, and I think there used to be 9, but now there's officially 8, and they all have these names, which we all know. We all know Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. We all could probably sing the song from kindergarten, but have you ever wondered how they got their names? Well, it actually is not that surprising, but the first 5 planets were named during the Roman Empire because they are visible to the naked eye. Before the advent of telescopes, Romans saw all of the first 5 planets in the solar system, and they named them after various Roman gods. And for example, Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, and the Roman god Jupiter is the king of the Roman gods, whereas Mars looks red from Earth, so Mars was named after the Roman god of war. Now, Mercury, which is the closest planet to the sun, makes its trip around the sun as the equivalent of a year in 88 days. And so the Romans named Mercury for the fast-moving messenger of the gods. And Saturn, which is the solar system's second largest planet, actually takes close to 29 years to make a trip around the sun. And they named Saturn for the Roman god of agriculture. Well, you might be wondering what happened to the last 3 planets, and those actually did not get discovered until the 17th century. Astronomers in Europe could see them from their telescopes, but it took the invention of the telescope to be able to see the last 3 planets, and then we know Pluto was removed from its celestial honor. I believe it was 2006, if I remember correctly.
I think I missed that. I don't think I knew that. I missed the whole Pluto.
Well, and Uranus was discovered today, March 13th, in 1781.
Well, how about that, Diana? That was not intentional, but that's
you're thinking about the Roman Empire 2,200 years ago, and you're thinking they're looking up. And
how did they do that?
Well, I'm just thinking they're saying, "What is that, Bob?" I don't know, Tim. What do you think?
Right.
What's up? What is it? I mean, did they even know what a planet was? I mean, how much did we know? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think it really, Copernicus was an important figure in history, but he was closer to the Dark Ages in Europe, I believe 15th, 16th century. But no, I think back then it was not sure how aware they were, but certainly you think about nautical navigation, and really probably land navigation was driven almost entirely by the stars.
Yeah,
so they had to know them.
I'm pretty sure they weren't named Bob and Tim, too. So anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the space station came over our area yesterday at 8:24. A little hazy for me to try to catch that coming out of the Unit 7 school board meeting yesterday. But I know tonight, I think, is this blood worm moon lunar eclipse that we're going to try to catch between 1 and
You might be up doing a feeding or something, Nathaniel. 3:30 or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
2:55.
If it's visible from outside the window, then
there you go.
Nathaniel, son, did you know? Well done. Well done. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. Son Nathaniel in Chicago.
Solar system is always a good topic.
Yeah, it's just amazing how what was it? Did they conceive that we have our own planet and then there are others out there? And, yeah. I mean, you had, when was Abraham's family? 4,000 years ago? And they were certainly loyal to God and knew God and Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and all what the Bible says. And to have the concept that we have other planets, like we're a planet and the sun is a star. I mean, who invented all that? Who discovered? And that the rotation went around the sun. How would you even know that?
I know. It had to be God inspired, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've learned so much, and then when we got to the Industrial Revolution in like the 1890s, things exploded.
Yeah.
and what has happened on Earth in the last 150 years. It's just the explosion of flight and just unbelievable inventions. The telephone was kind of a big one.
I was watching a special on tractors and how that, obviously revolutionized farming.
No, you can go down to Arthur and you can see farming. It's just horses. It's 2 horses and a plow.
With the plow.
It's a man running a plow and it can do about 100 acres, right? Maybe 50. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Amazing, and you're living in that time, my friends. You could be living when it was not quite this luxurious. And
but that lunar eclipse tonight, in case you want to take note.
2:55, you said. All right, news next. We're coming back with another very exciting hour. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Things could get tense north of the border. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where Secretary of State Marco Rubio is about to sit down with his Canadian counterpart as the U.S. and 6 key allies gather after President Trump imposed tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports.
Secretary Rubio has crossed the front lines in the trade war. He is in Canada, and if the Canadians want to complain to somebody in person about the tariffs, it's going to have to be him. He is there for this meeting of the G7 foreign secretaries in Quebec. Those meetings of foreign secretaries can be so boring, but not today.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House, where the president escalated things in a Truth Social post this morning, reacting to Canada and the European Union's retaliatory tariffs. He wrote, if Europe's nasty 50% tariff on American whiskey is not canceled immediately, he'll put a 200% tariff on all wine, champagne, and other alcohol coming here from France or any other EU country. Today, NATO's leader goes to the White House. As President Trump keeps pushing for an end to the war in Ukraine, that country's agreed to a U.S. ceasefire plan.
President Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff has landed in Moscow to bring details of the proposal to the Kremlin. President Vladimir Putin's spokesman hinting at direct talks with President Trump, saying there could be an international phone call later today.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A Russian official said today that ceasefire plan would benefit Ukraine's military. Time's running out for Congress to avert a government shutdown by tomorrow night's deadline for funding. Republican Senator Ashley Moody tells Fox,
if this is a shutdown, it'll be the Schumer shutdown. This is completely on the hands of the Democrats.
That's after Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said they'll block the House-passed spending bill funding the government through September because Republicans did not get any Democrat input. Schumer's pushing for a 30-day funding plan
that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass.
We got an update on wholesale inflation this morning. Producer prices came down on an annual rate last month. America's listening to Fox.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
As the Trump administration keeps up immigration raids, targeting for deportation those here illegally who have committed crimes, there is a review underway into groups that gave shelter and aid to migrants during record illegal border crossings.
A letter from FEMA's acting director, Cameron Hamilton, to organizations that received grants from the agency's Shelter and Services program says the Department of Homeland Security has, quote, significant concerns that the money was used for illegal activities. Tuesday's letter, obtained by the Associated Press, wants names and contact information for migrants that were served and a, quote, detailed list of specific services provided in 30 days, suggesting that the groups that received the federal grants may have violated a smuggling law. The Shelter and Services program gave out $641 million to state and local governments as well as groups in 2024 to help them deal with large numbers of migrants crossing the southern U.S. border. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
SpaceX is going to try again. after a failure to launch a mission to bring stranded astronauts home.
Both SpaceX and NASA will try to launch the Crew 10 mission to the International Space Station Friday night, just after 7 p.m. The launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, which had been scheduled for Wednesday evening, was scrubbed due to a problem with ground systems. Crew 10 brings a new crew to the station, allowing for some on board to return to Earth on the Crew 9 flight. Among them are astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, who flew up to the station on Boeing's Starliner, a test flight riddled with technical problems. The pair were only supposed to be in space for 10 days. They've been there since June. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
We just got an update on unemployment also this morning, showing a slight drop in first-time jobless claims last week, down 2,000 to 220,000. Also declining the number of Americans continuing to collect benefits. On Wall Street, falling stock futures suggest the Dow could drop again in this big March sell-off on top of another 82-point decline yesterday. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Unit 7 school board met last night in front of a crowd of parents supporting the approval of new athletic programs, sideline cheer for fall and winter season, as well as a Unity golf team passing after a long discussion about transportation. There was interaction amongst the board members with parents who talked about their athletes being involved in summer programs to enhance their skills. Illinois Wesleyan University being warned about protecting Jewish students on campus. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights sent letters to 60 institutions of higher education, including Illinois Wesleyan, saying that if they don't fulfill their obligations for civil rights, they'll face federal funding cuts. State lawmakers advancing a bill that would expand access to Alzheimer's treatment in the state. Measure passed out of the House Insurance Committee. The bill would require anyone's health insurance plan in the state to cover medically necessary FDA-approved treatments and medications to slow Alzheimer's. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim.
All right, 8:06 ESPN 93.5. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, who has been prepping us all week for this thing that's coming that looks like, what do you mean winds of not 75? That's not no way, man.
Well, that's on the southern plains. That will sweep through Oklahoma and Texas and western Kansas. Yes, absolutely.
That's like a tropical storm, isn't it? Isn't 75
Yeah, the threshold for that's 74 miles per hour and higher for a hurricane. So
what?
39 and higher for a tropical storm. Put that in perspective. So
all right, so we're going to get windy, but hopefully nothing like that. That's bad.
Well, yeah, we got it's a two-pronged wind approach here. You got, the general circulation, and then, when you've got, that kind of wind field, under the right circumstances, when you get thunderstorms that go on, you're going to be able to tap into that momentum. The clouds build, they tap into that jet stream wind up aloft, bring it on down, and, rule of thumb, sometimes you take the wind speed or the forward speed on any thunderstorm activity, add 20, 25, 30 miles an hour on average, and you can come up with the general wind gust. And so we've got, again, a two-pronged approach, wind and then severe weather, and we're already on the eastern cusp of at least a moderate risk. That's level 4 out of 5 on the severe weather scale around here. So lots of stuff to stay heads up for between tomorrow, probably mid to late afternoon, more so, unfortunately, tomorrow night into the wee hours of Saturday morning, and things will slowly unwind around here over the back end of the weekend. So it behooves you to enjoy today. At 44, we're in Savoy, 38 at Rantoul. We get the wind advisories. I think with time, there's going to have to get upgraded to either a high wind watch or even a high wind warning. You heard it here first, but that's just the way the feds work sometimes. There are high wind watches up towards the Kankakee, and they extend all the way south into Texas and the High Plains areas. We'll head towards a fairly moderate day's worth of weather today. Light wind, afternoon temperatures at heading towards an afternoon high somewhere into the mid 70 degree range, about 77, 78 degrees, somewhere in that range. Matter of fact, 73. Let's correct that with sunshine, light wind. Fair tonight, 52, and 77 is the forecast high tomorrow. Again, wind picks up out of the south, gust of 40 miles per hour late afternoon, maybe a late day shower thunderstorm. 1 or 2 bands come through the area tomorrow night, probably after sundown, to maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, with a low tomorrow night at 57, and a general high wind follows in after that. South-southwest gusting 50 to 55 miles per hour tomorrow night, late through Saturday. Partly sunny, cooler, a couple of showers, 67. Winds wind down Sunday at 47, back into a south breeze, and 60 on Monday, 74 Tuesday, more rain for the middle part of next week. For Stevie Day Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
All right, buddy. Thank you. We'll be on the watch. Well, the egg prices are down. Gas prices are down. Inflation is down.
Things are looking up.
Well, here's what A headline in the mainstream media. Egg prices down, but they're about to spike again.
Right. Well, and I've been hearing about the tariffs and things like that.
well,
I mean,
I
it
know,
seems like they just spotlight all the negative.
U.S. News and World Report. Does anybody read U.S. News and World Report anymore? Anyway,
No.
they just said, who should get credit for the border crossings going down? What? Excuse me? Who should get credit for shutting the border? Unbelievable. So it doesn't matter. Trump was right during this talk to Congress. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you're not going to clap. You're not going to stand.
That's right.
You're going to shut down the government. Whatever.
I mean, even if there's a kid who's been battling brain cancer, they're not going to stand up. They're not going to clap.
They just can't. They can't.
Totally anti-American.
They're all in on he's an evil dictator and all these bad things are going to happen. But then again, I'm looking across the board and all the accomplishments in 50 days and going, well, it's all good. So now what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
You lied to me. You told me he was Adolf Hitler. You can take away all my rights. I'm feeling pretty free today. So this guy from Turning Point, Charlie Kirk, you've probably seen him online.
He's only 31. He's from Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I'd like to put him on Jeopardy. I'd pay the flight.
Yes.
We split the money.
Let's do that.
The guy,
he's 6'5",
He's also he's coming to the University of Illinois, and
Go Illini.
It'll
April
be
8th.
April 8th in Follinger, but it's going to be hard to get in. It's going to have to be security. I mean, there's some wackos that are going to be around. So that's just expected when you bring free speech to our campus.
Always.
Anyway, but if you ever see on X his interchanges, I don't know how smart he is, but he appears to be pretty darn smart to me. And this is a high school graduate. So some people are kind of born super smart, and I would choose to think Charlie Kirk is one of those. And he was on the new Gavin Newsom Starts a Podcast.
I saw that. GOP beware, it says.
No, it's Gavin Newsom is starting this thing, so he's like the guy in 2028. He wants to run for president, and he's term limited out of the governor's office in 26. So he asked Charlie Kirk, he said, are there any Democrats you like? He said, yeah. RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. Those are guys.
Okay.
Even though they've... What is RFK still a Democrat or does he go independent? I don't know.
I don't know.
Tulsi's now full-fledged. She went independent, then full-fledged Republican. So, John Fetterman, the only one that makes sense on the Democratic side to me right now is John Fetterman. And 3 years ago, I said, what? I'll never say that. The guy's whacked out. Well, he had a stroke. Yeah. And it took a while.
Yeah.
But now he's the only common sense member of the United States Congress that I can find on the Democratic side.
I just wish he'd get a stylist. I know that he wants to wear the sweats and things like that and shorts all the time.
I don't know. It doesn't look great to me.
I know.
He says he just doesn't have the body with his little thin legs and all that stuff. But maybe you can not wear shorts because it shows off your thin legs and no butt. He said so. He's very funny and makes a lot of common sense. And the Democrats probably don't like him anymore. So anyway, off we go. And you're wondering, why can't you figure out the shutdown of the government? You have to have senators go in on that because the vote total has to be 60 or more. So they can do what's called filibuster. And the Republicans only have 53 votes. That means they got to get 7 more, which at this point, after Chuck Schumer's talk yesterday about we're not doing it, nobody's going to do that. They'll get primaried by their own people. So they're not going to risk that. And so the government will be shut down 100% tomorrow night. Now, I don't know if you can make a deal with these folks because they just want to get something said. We got to stop this evil that's happening with Elon Musk. And the only 2 things we know is Tesla and Hitler. I mean, it's just wow. I think people are clear-eyed about all this and understand that regardless of what you think of Donald Trump, stuff's happening in a positive way. I don't know how you could deny that, but they're trying to with the headlines.
Right.
It's like,
it depends what you consume, really,
well,
as far as the media.
Yeah, but I mean, there are
if you're living in the world where all you're looking at is MSNBC or CNN is so negative.
Well, you could watch about anything.
And then they'll say for conservative views, you're just watching Fox.
Fox has a lot of Democrats on.
Right.
I think they have Scott Jennings on CNN. He's the House Republican,
right.
And he's really good. That's the only time I ever see CNN is when they play a clip with Scott Jennings refuting what they're saying. Anyway, you can consume.
CBS is such a Democratic.
But you take all the CNN ratings are just abysmal. I don't know how they're functioning.
Right.
They're very bad. MSNBC is a bit better. believe it or not. But it's people were pretty disgruntled about the whole they can't win, they're evil, dictator, they're never going to win. And he won all 7 swing states, and a majority, and 89% of counties went toward the right. So you're going, something's wrong. Mm-hmm. And are you guys going to figure, we only lost by 1.5% overall? Well, no, you really lost the swing of the country, and the tent got bigger for the Republicans, and now it feels like the Republicans are for the working people. That was what the Democrats lived on for a century.
You're right.
I don't get it. All right, Illinois plays.
Yes.
5:30 tonight. Brad Underwood, what about that Will Riley kid?
I don't know if there was this, maybe the Michigan State game, if you want to have a half, and then he got sick. But I think it's just growth. I think it's the natural maturation with freshmen that play, and then he got a little confidence, and now he's just blossomed. He's as confident as any player I've seen. He's just he's a focal point of what we do. He's a focal point of what opponents are trying to stop, and he's turned into a heck of a player. But maybe it was that point. It just took him some time. And I think he's more comfortable on the defensive side, obviously, than he was early.
Yeah, Will Riley is a pro. I don't think anybody doubts that we saw our last of Will Riley and Kasper Jonas in the Purdue game. And, boy, they both hit big shots. And Will had the most points, 22. Kasper's had the 3 that really rocked us and gave us the lead for good at the end of the game. So, yeah, we had 2 great kids. We've enjoyed having them. But with the price they're paying for first-round picks in the NBA draft, we covered that the other day. The top pick gets $57 million in a 4-year deal, 5-year deal. Kasparis, even if he goes 10th, he's looking at $30 million.
Yeah.
Will Riley, if he goes last in the first round, he's not going to go last. He's like 18 right now.
Yep.
It's like $20 million.
I know it.
So forget NIL. These guys are in a different stratosphere, just hoping and praying they have people they can trust around them.
Absolutely.
Because Kofi Coburn was an example of bad advice, and that was a shame when he left too early. In any event, best play 5:30. It's Iowa upsetting Ohio State, and a team that always wins a game before you.
Yeah, 77-70. Yeah. And
so they got some momentum.
Yeah.
And Iowa can certainly incapable of beating us. We just have to go play a good basketball game, and we should get through. But, Iowa's got a little spring in their step this morning after upsetting Ohio State last night.
That's right. So 5:30 tip-off from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. There was some trends on social media about where are some good places to hang out. Remember we were talking with Claire, visitindy.com, about Tom's. And that bar having 130 TV screens and all that other stuff. So that'd be a fun place to visit. Marez Johnson Jr. all healed up, been practicing, and could be part of the action.
He'll be in there tonight. And again, if I can get a few rebounds, get his sea legs. He ran up and down the court, needed oxygen a few times.
Okay.
He was just got to get back in that shape.
Yeah.
So I would predict 10, 12 minutes for him.
Right.
Which would be awesome. And maybe the second game, 18 minutes.
Right.
Just get him back in the flow.
And sometimes there's just bursts where we need a guy like Marez.
Well, he's a rebound machine.
That's right.
We need him in there.
I love it. Number 1 of 15 practices for Illinois football yesterday. Yeah, the spring season is upon us. Luke Altmaier out there getting some reps. 18 returning players after our 10-win season with the Citrus Bowl. Go Illini.
I can't remember the last time we had this much bounce in spring football because I don't think you'd have to look it up. 2007, 8, when we were a top 20 football team?
Yeah.
Going into the season?
Right.
Projected to be high like that?
Right.
Actually targeting the top 12?
Speaking of action at Memorial Stadium, take note of the 77 Club for the selection show watch party for the NCAA tournament when the women's basketball team has a party with the doors opening at 6:30 Sunday the 16th.
I tell you what.
This is totally free.
I would just love to high-five Shauna Green.
I know it. And it feels like you could at a party like this.
I think we could. Because
and lots 31, 36, 37 open. Things will start moving and shaking at 7 for this watch party. You enter into Gate 16 on the west side. Taking note of Sunday the 16th. Doors open at 6:30. 77 Club of Memorial Stadium.
Hundreds of people will come to that.
I know.
They've gotten a following now.
This is a great idea.
I think it's great and deserving because the women have not made the NCAA in years, have they?
That's right.
All right, we check your weather. Our meteorologist is Greg Solya. Enjoy today. Get out, take a walk. Make sure you soak it up because we got some, we have some stuff on the way.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Another warm one on tap. Sunshine, even warmer than recent days at 73 on a light east to southeasterly wind. We'll bottom out tonight, mild at 52. Tomorrow becoming windy and seasonally warm. Increasing clouds later in the day and a shower thunderstorm chance late up to 77. Heads up on the south wind. The wind advisories and expanding high wind watches across the Midwest. 77 tomorrow with that south wind gusting to 40 miles per hour and a southwest wind hitting 50 to 55 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Saturday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks tomorrow night could be severe before midnight. A moderate risk is lurking just west of Champaign, low down at 57. Partly sunny, couple of showers and 67 on Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Sunday morning. Partly sunny, cooler, more seasonal at 47. Another warm up into the first half of next week. 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, 68 Wednesday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. We'll move back into cooler weather, but still above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the late portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We've gotten a key read on inflation, the Producer Price Index, which measures inflation at the wholesale level. And we're finding it cooled more than expected in February. Year over year, it was up 3.2% versus the expected 3.3%. There was no increase from the previous month. The expectation was a 0.3% rise. Core PPI, which leaves out volatile food and energy, was actually down 0.1% from the previous month. This follows an upward revision, 0.6% increase in January. And in the latest tariff turbulence, President Trump has threatened to put a 200% tariff on all wine and other alcoholic products coming out of EU countries if the bloc doesn't remove its tariff on whiskey. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
I'm Benjamin Hall, Fox News senior correspondent and New York Times best-selling author, and I'm searching for heroes. Every Monday, I'll speak with a few silent but noteworthy heroes, everyday people who illuminate stories of compassion and are true embodiments of heroism. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, Searching for Heroes with Benjamin Hall, wherever you download podcasts, and please leave a rating and a review.
Nate Evans at the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. Let's talk about your team real quick, because you mentioned that when you came in the door. Everybody's got experience. To me, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, so what I really love about this team that we've got together right now is we have zero turnover. We changed our business model back in 2018 from trying to train people and get them up to speed and working, and maybe the more of a less is more and quality over quantity. And it's organically grown into something that's outstanding. We focused on putting the right people there and working with talented professionals. And that has grown into something that I'm extremely blessed to be a part of. We set a record in our local MLS for volume sold in the area. The next closest competitor to us is more than $30 million away in overall volume. We don't get to those places without working with some of the best talent in the entire town.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Well, we got our pitmaster coming up. He's got some more ideas for your grill.
Oh, good.
Tim Onstock.
It's amazing when the weather turns and you have hitting 70 a couple times during the week, what it can do, a little skip in your step, and you start thinking about grilling outside.
Yeah.
You know, last week we talked about repairing your grill. So we went from putting a free sign about our big clunky grill, and now Mike's got some parts, and he's going to put ours
Good
together.
For him.
I know.
Boy. Well,
thanks to Tim Onstad.
Well, we'll talk to Tim here in just a few moments. And again, with the weather turning, the wind going, if you really don't have anything to do this afternoon, at 2 o'clock, go to YouTube and type in CrossFit Open.
Okay.
And they'll do a live announcement as to what the workout is tomorrow, the final week. And then after this weekend, if you're in the top certain percent, you advance to the next round. And then ultimately you're on ESPN if you're a top 30 athlete by August. And there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people worldwide that take part in the CrossFit Open. And so they have the workout, but then you'll see two people doing the workout. And you look at them and you go, okay, so they're not muscle guys or women. They're not gymnastics. You have to be both. So they're this mix of human that somehow have the capacity to do these motions and routines in an unbelievable way. If you want to see somebody fit, it'll be on YouTube this afternoon after 2. They'll make the announcement. The two people might be women or men. I don't know. Last week it was 2 women. And you're just looking going, how can you be that fit? How can you do what they were doing in the amount of time it took to do it? It is a really remarkable fitness. And it's just really, I can't describe it. It's a community of really diverse, across the board humans that get together and do the same workout. And if you can't do it, you scale it like I do and still compete and participate. And it's just enjoyable as heck. And oh, by the way, I feel really good working out because my heart is beating well. And it just kind of makes you feel a little younger and a little more pep in your step. And it's really a good way to do the day. So anyway, it's entertaining as can be. But just to see, it's like walking. I guess it's like watching anybody at the top of their game. Watch Scotty Scheffler play golf. Yeah. Watch a hockey guy get around and make a goal. It's that level of athleticism from the standpoint of fitness. And it's called functional fitness, meaning I go home yesterday, I left the box. I'm good. Otherwise, if you get a little older in life and you haven't done stuff, you pull things and hurt things because you just haven't done it. Right. It's not like you can't do it, but you haven't done it in so long, and you're remembering 35 years ago you lifted this box of books and you forgot that the books are pretty heavy, and you haven't done much to keep lifting books.
Absolutely.
So it is just it's a process, but
Unity Junior High had a presentation with a bunch of the students there at the Unit 7 school board meeting talking about fitness and the essentials and the foundation and body movement and things like that. I was like, brilliant. These are foundational skills on how to move and then come together and root each other on and try to reach different challenges and goals.
I think it'll be just a matter of time before CrossFit sweeps across the high school
that's
level.
Essentially what you're talking about.
But CrossFit, I think, would be fantastic for a high school athlete. I mean, it just, your whole body is fit as can be. But high schools, there's some high schools that have discovered it, but it's early. Some coaches are thinking, just get hurt. They don't really understand the concept of what they're trying to do. But in any event, it's fun. I'll be involved in my final round tomorrow for whatever reason I'm in it.
But this afternoon after 2?
At 2 o'clock, you go to YouTube and put CrossFit Open, and you'll see the announcement, and you'll see 2 athletes compete, and you'll go, oh boy, okay. I'm a little ways from that.
In between my frantically raking out of different portions of my yard to bring all my leaves to the street so they'll blow down the road.
She said that on the air, Reese. She just said that. She's getting her leaves out so they'll blow down to Betty's house.
I mean, go down to Jeff Fisher's farm.
Mildred, the leaves are coming your way.
I just hate all these leaves.
Well, maybe we should bag them.
Yeah, or get, the town of Tolona, my hometown, has these big trucks that have big vacuum on them.
Well, why don't you call and rent the vacuum?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
In any case. But we've got the guy, is it Jim Brookins?
Jim Brookins. He's going to run in tomorrow, and I'm going to pay for you to have your lawn mowed once.
But he's mainly mowing the lawn.
He'll mulch your stuff. He'll mulch your leaves.
I need to talk with
Jim. You can just talk to Jimmy. He'll be in tomorrow. He cuts our lawn. And I'm going to pay. I'm going to do a Stever with it. I'm going to pay for 5 lawns tomorrow if you want. It's just one time, one hit.
But in all seriousness, these wins, like if you have some lawn furniture, you've been working on some patio furniture, you can have a lot of that out. I mean, it could blow away.
Really could. I mean, garbage cans, 60-mile-an-hour winds, no good.
What'd you end up doing with those concrete Christmas tree things?
But we took them to Salt and Light.
Okay.
And I could lift them out.
But those were some hardy things. Those aren't blowing it on the road.
No. You could put, that thing weighed 40 or 50 pounds. And they put them on a cart. I lifted them out and put them on a cart for them.
Okay.
So, but they were, if you want to go to Salt and Light, Philo Road.
That's great.
You can go look for the concrete Christmas trees. They're beautiful. It was given to us by a neighbor. We didn't have a spot for them, and you need new lights, but they'd be beautiful, and you won't have to worry about those things blowing away.
Yeah, sure.
Not even falling over. All right, news next. Another exciting segment to go. Tim Onstadt, Pitmaster Extraordinaire, coming up.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump says if a 50% tariff on American whiskey is not lifted by the European Union, he'll impose a 200% tariff on alcohol, including wine and champagne imported from Europe. He posts on Truth Social, "Have no fear, we will win on everything."
The White House is distributing a fact sheet that shows the average price of gas dropping for the third straight week, down to $3 and change. Egg prices dropping in the first week of March, 15% down. Inflation cooling for the first time in 5 months, down to 2.8% month to month. And stocks went up a little bit on Wednesday.
Fox's Peter Ducey. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin says the process is starting to revoke and replace Biden-era environmental regulations, including restrictions on vehicle and power plant emissions.
The Green New Scam ends as the EPA does its part to usher in the golden age of American success.
There will be legal challenges to the changes. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Wesleyan University being warned about protecting Jewish students on campus. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights sent letters to 60 institutions of higher education, including Illinois Wesleyan, saying that if they don't fulfill their obligations for civil rights, they'll face federal funding cuts. State lawmakers advancing a bill that would expand access to Alzheimer's treatment in the state. Measure passed out of the House Insurance Committee. The bill would require anyone's health insurance plan in the state to cover medically necessary FDA-approved treatments and medications to slow Alzheimer's. The Eastern Illinois University Police Department and Coles County Coroner revealed new information regarding the death of a student on campus last week. Officials confirmed that the student's name is Zaria Blackston and that she had juvenile diabetes since she was just 6 years old. Again, that from Eastern Illinois University. The investigation is ongoing. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance. And they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
I need
to speak with someone in charge, a manager. Who's the manager?
Yes, ma'am. This is Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. How can we help out?
Picture this, Paul from Dick Van Dyke, if that's your real name.
I'm also not wearing khakis, but go ahead.
I get home from work and I need a cold drink with ice. And instead of feeling that cool, refreshing air, I get warm air and a whiff of rotten meat.
That's gross.
So here's what I need, Paul from Dick Van Dyke. I need a new refrigerator.
We have hundreds in stock.
Don't get fresh with me, mister.
Excuse me?
I need it delivered tomorrow.
We have next day delivery guaranteed Monday through Saturday.
I want it at this price.
We guarantee the best deal.
I want an extended protection plan.
I'll give you one for free.
Now, don't get smart with me, young man.
No joke. It's free, and I'm 49.
Well, wow.
That's what we say, but why did you ask for a manager?
How else would I get this deal?
You don't need the manager. We do this for everyone, every day at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And just like Dad says, wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I've met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery has savings store-wide for the anniversary sale. Installation is half off Mohawk's waterproof luxury vinyl floors. The installation is free for Mohawk Carpet. And get up to $1,000 instant rebate on Mohawk carpets and floors. Instant rebates on all furniture. Plus, buy it all 2 years free financing. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Carpet Weavers.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign and Van Saturday, quiet one today. That'll change over the course of the weekend. Sunshine, lighter wind. Enjoy that too at 73. We'll bottom out tonight at 52. That southeast to south wind will pick on up tomorrow at 20 to 30, gust to 40 miles per hour in the afternoon. With increasing clouds, a warm day at 77. Maybe a shower thunderstorm in spots later in the day. Then heads up tomorrow night for high wind. Apart from any thunderstorm activity that could be severe before midnight, at least a moderate risk lurking just west of Champaign County. Low down to 57. Apart from thunderstorms, south-southwesterly wind gusting 50 miles per hour and up to 55 miles per hour. General southwest winds for the day on Saturday. Partly sunny, cooler, a couple of showers and 67. Winds wind down Sunday with a high at 47 with a shower chance early and a bit of sunshine later in the day. Breezy 60 on Monday, 74 Tuesday. Back into showers and thunderstorms Wednesday. The high close to 70. We're back in the mid to upper 50s. Still mild for the time of year late next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstock. Smoke in Tim's Grill is the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstock. And according to the Stevie J smoking rankings, Tim and Donna are number one once again this week. Tim, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Donna just laid a piece of paper on my desk that says Stevie J is the number one ranked competitor in the Masters class of CrossFit.
Well,
So congratulations to you.
Kind of you, and how
For you, Tim, giving it back. I love it.
How inaccurate. Mine's accurate. Yours isn't. Okay.
Even the rattling of the paper.
Yeah, well done with the rattling. That was very good.
Exactly.
Tim Onstad catching on the radio thing. Good job. That's awesome. So what do you know here on this beautiful day? And it's going to get kind of bad weather-wise over the weekend, but hey, we're enjoying this. This is nice.
That happens. We'll just have to whack old Greg around a little bit and get him straightened out, get the weather straightened out. I do, catching on to the radio thing, I do need to issue an apology to Lante on the afternoon drive yesterday. I kind of made him mad. And I told him he didn't know what he was talking about with good ribs on the 17th Street, and they overcook him down there. But I will tell you that Mr. Mills, that owned the 17th Street, he passed away a few years ago, but he was a 5-time or 3-time world champion and a great pitmaster. And they do have good ribs, I'll give him that. But I thought he'd give me a little love, having eaten mine a few times. So.
Well, he obviously short memory or didn't know who you were. I don't know, either or. In any event, you make the. And by the way, when you say ribs, what do you think, Diane? Fall off the.
Right.
That's not the right way to do them.
I know.
And so,
and that's what 17th Street does for the public. But I can guarantee you that's not what he's turning in a competition.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, there you go. I thought that fall off the rib meat was just exactly how you do ribs, but that's too much. So it needs to have a little more on the bone. So.
Well, I apologize to Lon, and what I'll do, I'll feed him again just to prove that I'm right.
Yeah, no,
love that idea.
He'll take you up on it, sir.
Exactly.
I will speak for Lon. All right, what about my grilling a little pork today? Is that what we can cover a little bit?
Yeah, Lon's not shy about eating, but
he likes your food.
I thought we'd touch on a little bit here today. Everybody, of course, is talking about the high price of groceries, and beef is up there. I mean, Donna brings home a steak, and I look at the package, and it's $48 for 2 decent steaks, or even higher. And
a lot of money.
There's a cheaper alternative. I mean, we can still go to the store and get pork butts that are relatively inexpensive. I haven't looked lately, but $1.49, $1.39 a pound on sale.
Wow.
And those pork shoulders, the front shoulders of the hog, can be cut into steaks and grilled, and they're just tasty. It's make a good pork steak. We do it. We buy the whole pork shoulder, and sometimes we buy too many, and we'll take the bone out and then slice them down, and it can be a good substitute for a New York strip or a T-bone.
And affordable, and you just put that on the grill, can I?
Yeah, you just put it on the grill. Make sure you get the internal temperature up to above 165, a safe level, and then it's there for 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, and you kill everything in it. And you can use your favorite rub, slap on some barbecue sauce. There's really nothing to it.
I love that. And plus, affordable, man. That's very affordable.
Yeah, and it's pretty quick and easy. Just a few minutes on each side, and got some nice grill marks.
Yeah.
And then what I like to do to complement that, everybody knows that pineapple and pork kind of go together. We get a whole pineapple, core out the middle, and then do pineapple spears, kind of like a pickle.
Yeah.
And throw those on the grill and get those good grill marks, and the smoke.
Yeah.
And the grilling charcoal really make that pineapple pop, and that's a good fresh, refreshing side to a pork steak cooked in the spring or the summertime.
Could I put the pineapple on top of the pork or no? Put it on the side.
Sure, you can do whatever you want, Stevie. You're number one in the Masters.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
we do it as a side and just kind of nibble on it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Janet loves a pineapple on the grill. It's really good.
I've never tried that.
Yeah, put little grill marks on it. It doesn't take much, and it's really flavorful. Tim Onstad, who also, of course, has a big job of taking care of Gale Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. Let me start with Gale Frericks Trucking. How's everything going? Are you looking for a driver?
we've got a spot left, I believe, and it is going gangbusters. Now is the time when one of our customers, larger customers that's more seasonal, their business is really opening up, and a lot of stuff going on. It's Donna is just busting her rear end to get everything done, get everything dispatched. Her and Beth are handling this volume that we're experiencing just incredibly well. And the drivers are working a little extra, but at the same time, they're making a little extra too. So it's a good deal.
You know what, Tim? I bet the drivers are looking at this forecast with these winds and thinking about, when they go under underpasses and adjusting and things like that.
Yeah, they are. They have their hands full, and the wind is a formidable opponent. But knock on wood, most of the time our guys are good and understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
One of the keys is keeping the trucks loaded. If you've got a loaded trailer, that's a whole lot easier to handle in the wind than an empty one that's blowing all over the place like a big kite.
So if you unload and there's 60-mile-an-hour winds, you might just stay in a hotel till it all blows over, so to speak, right?
Well, we have hotels on the trucks. They have their bedrooms in the sleepers of the trucks, and that is pretty safe. But we really just watch the wind, and usually we have maybe a few hours of wind, but it calms down.
Subsides a little bit, What about...
We just got to keep our eye on it.
Yeah, and you do. I know it's a family operation. I know that. You treat your fellows and ladies well. What about dedicated diesel, Dixie choppers, man? The green's gonna start coming into this lawns pretty soon.
Yeah, I saw some green grass out here in Terre Haute and the yard starting to come through, and it's getting that time. And I'll promise you, these will be the lowest prices that Andy will be able to give you here pretty soon. So get over there to Dedicated Diesel at 1313 Triumph Drive and see Andy. You can call him at 217-328-0562. Dedicated Equipment on Facebook. You can always get me at timo@gftlog.com or 765-793-7131.
Tim Onstop, pitmaster, good man, and number one in my grilling and smoking. I've got the list right here.
Hey, good luck on that CrossFit this afternoon, Stevie. Kick some butt, and then get you a cold one and watch the ball game.
Let's go, Illini. Let's go.
Yes.
Come on, let's go.
Love it.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say this is March Madness, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Illini, but I'm cautious. I'm hoping that they're not bringing Mr. Johnson back a little too. I would save him for the big game.
Yeah, they're gonna inch him in. They're gonna take a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but I bet he'll get some rebounds for me, and I sure need that. But hey, my friend, it's always a pleasure. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, too. Appreciate it.
Appreciate Tim Onstop, Pitmaster, ESPN 93.5.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
When it comes to vascular care, it's important to have a medical team focused on clinical excellence, innovation, compassion, and continuity of care. Specialists within the Christie Clinic Vein and Vascular Center offer comprehensive services for all vascular disorders, including reducing complications from your diabetes. Call the Christie Clinic Vein and Vascular Team for a consultation today at 366-2670. With locations close to home and work, their specialists can help you avoid surgery and keep your limbs healthy.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis. Saturday, another warm one on tap. Sunshine, even warmer than recent days at 73 on a light east to southeasterly wind. We'll bottom out tonight, mild at 52. Tomorrow becoming windy and seasonally warm. Increasing clouds later in the day and a shower thunderstorm chance late up to 77. Heads up on the south wind. The wind advisories and expanding high wind watches across the Midwest. 77 tomorrow with that south wind gusting to 40 miles per hour and a southwest wind hitting 50 to 55 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Saturday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks tomorrow night. Could be severe before midnight. A moderate risk is lurking just west of Champaign, low down at 57. Partly sunny, couple of showers and 67 on Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles Sunday morning. Partly sunny, cooler, more seasonal at 47. Another warm up into the first half of next week. 60 Monday, 74 Tuesday, 68 Wednesday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms. We'll move back into cooler weather, but still above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the late portion of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC. MSTC and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Why use Land's Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry.
Hi, it's Wes from Land's Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Land's is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Land's we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Land's Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
All right, Gold Line Iowa tonight, 5:30. We'll talk all about it tomorrow on our Friday show. We play Iowa, who upset Ohio State.
That's right.
Can't sleep on anybody.
It could be that they're hot.
Well,
I don't know about the Hawkeyes.
Well, again, we beat them here a couple of weeks ago by 20, but doesn't matter. One and done.
Right.
Play well, see what happens, and then hopefully we play tomorrow, but this is how you treat the tournament. Every team is Duke, so you just got to take every team like you're playing Duke, and so we'll see what happens with the Illini. But
that's right.
Certainly hoping they can get through. Listen this afternoon. Lon Tay, Derek Piper will be in Indianapolis, and so on the phone with Lon a little bit, and you'll get to right up to game time. A little good stuff. So.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you. We shall return tomorrow.
Enjoy the day and go Illini.
Enjoy this day because the weather turns on us a little bit. Back to 70s next week, though.
I know it.
All right, Diane Ducey, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
All right, we'll talk later. Talk tomorrow morning. I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Watch all the Big Ten tournament games at Pia's. You can always find a crowd at Pia's enjoying wings, burgers, and great appetizers. Tournament specials include $4 22-ounce light and Coors Light drafts, $15 buckets of bottled beer, $4.50 Surfside teas, and $5 Tito's drinks. Oh, Pia's starts their green beer flowing at 7 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Enjoy specials of your favorite Irish liqueur. Pia's, 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onstad, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Not every remodel project is as easy as the couple on the Home Improvement Channel make it look. From old furniture to construction debris, a home remodel can quickly turn into a junk pile. 2 Men and a Junk Truck is here to make your home improvement dreams a reality. They offer hassle-free junk removal and dumpster rentals to clear the way for your next big project.
Perfect.
Use code REMODEL25 to save $25 on your next service. 2 Men and a Junk Truck, making your home improvement journey a breeze. Visit 2menandajuncktruck.com. Offer valid at 2 Men and a Junk Truck, Champaign, Illinois.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.